Progress. Okay. All right. Wootimental Academy. Last master class of 2025. Can you believe it? It's already going to be 2026. I think it's going to be a good year. Hey,
how many years for the Zoom class?
2025. Huh?
How many years for this Zoom class? 3 now?
I think three.
Very cool.
Yeah, at least three.
Yeah, and then COVID, you were on YouTube with that.
Yeah,
on
YouTube. So that's why I started this. It was such a big success on YouTube. I said, well,
privatized. Heavy, John.
Huh?
Now you're not.
It was Stan's.
Yeah, it's got to be me.
Stan's got 2 machines too. Yeah, if you use
Stan's
2
got
machines.
10 machines.
Huh?
I said Stan's got 10 machines.
He's got too many machines. If you use a different machine for your what you're seeing and hearing, as opposed to your microphones, you're going to get a loop.
That's the weird thing. I'm not, which is weird. I don't know what's going on.
Well,
so didn't we start the Zoom in 2021? Is that how I remember it? 2020, 2021. It was during COVID, right?
I might have started with some of you guys, but it wasn't. I don't know if it was like a regular thing.
It might not have been Wootimental vibe. Yeah,
it was an irregular thing. Yeah.
So I've got. Yeah, I'm hearing slapback. It's been so long since I've navigated the website. How do I get to recordings again?
The forum.
Like what did you go to the forum? Okay.
Well, it depends on what recordings you're talking about. I mean, the rudimental remedies.
Like last week, and then this
master
week,
classes. Master
classes.
Okay, so that's good that everybody's here. I can kind of talk about the website. If you haven't gone through that, I know I've noticed I can kind of keep track of how many people get on, and lately not many people are getting on the website. So, and if it's not your routine, I understand you just don't do it. And but there's a lot of stuff, especially if you're new here. There's John Peterson, kind of new here. Kathy's back. And Michael's new here. So if you haven't gone to the website, in fact, I'm revamping the website. If you go there, you're gonna see it's different. In fact, on the front page, if you have any friends, tell them on the home page they can register for this now. I made it really simple. You just scroll down, and boom, there's your you can become a member, and it's automatic. I got it set up now, so I don't have to approve it. It's just automatic. I'm changing a lot of stuff in my shop. I've been doing that last couple weeks, so y'all know I've been working on the website, and so that when you buy an ebook, it just downloads. It's all in there, so I don't have to email it. It's not manual anymore. I had the poor man's version, so now I've spent a couple more bucks, and it's a lot easier. It's going to make my life a lot easier. When I get it set up. Right now it's hell because just setting it up is a lot of work. But on there, and of course I'm going to be putting some more material, including all the Cinquillo Clave variations challenge. There's so many ways we can do this. You could just work on this for quite a while. And there's some thoughts that come to mind when I'm sure when you're working on it too, you kind of go, well, what's the point of all this? It's like, why am I doing all this? How's this going to improve my playing? And, you really don't know sometimes, I think, you have to give things a chance so that you kind of discover ways to use it. Because the easiest thing to do is go, this is stupid. I don't want to do it. I'm going to do something else. And that's the easiest thing to do, right? Just give up. giving up is the easiest thing to do. So, but as I was playing this, man, some really cool things happened while I was playing it. And you just discover all these other cool ways to do it. Like, for example, what I learned when I was doing it, and we talked about, like, number 2 was the second line was really difficult to transition. It's because you don't play on 1 with the right hand. You know, so some of them are a little harder than others. Like, I'll say line 2 and then line 5, you know, line 5, line 6 is, you know, any of the ones where it doesn't line up with the right hand. Anyway, while I was doing it, I found out, like, on the last line where the bass drum and the right hand don't line up at all. It's the only one where it's the left hand, it lines up with the bass drum the whole time. So I was accenting the left hand, and I said, man, that's pretty cool. So check it out. I was doing this. Which sounds pretty good, but then I started playing rim shots, and I got this. Which is way cooler. I mean, it just felt so good that, I mean, hopefully you could tell that it sounded better. So I went back and I said, well, let me put a rim shot wherever I have a bass drum with the left hand on any of these, okay? So, for example, line 2, the downbeat of 1 lines up with the left hand, but the rest of it lines up with the right hand. The bass drum lines up with the right hand. So I just put a rim shot on the downbeat of 1. So that goes like this. And it becomes not only easier to play, well, the reason it's easier to play is because it sounds better. And it feels better. So if it feels better and sounds better, obviously it's going to make it easier to play. So now you just got to do the homework as to where you got to play accents on the left hand. And it's not much homework. It's going to be fun. Damn it. Okay, so like number 2. Okay, so the third line, check it out. You on the of 1 and then the and of 2, the left hand lines up with the bass drum, right? So I'm not going to accent 1, I'm going to accent the of 1 and the and of 2. So to go like this.
Which line is that?
The third line. Hey, does everybody have the music? Does anybody not have the music? I can send it to you. Okay, everybody. John, you have it? Peterson. Okay, good. Okay. All right, so here we go. Here's the third line. Slow it down, John. Jesus. And swing it. So let's get back to that. My button keeps sticking. That's what he said. Okay, so that doesn't really apply. So, okay, so, but that was pretty funky right there. So I'm thinking, again, let's go back to that thought we had. What? Man, this is a waste of time. When am I going to use this? Let me just practice the stuff I need. Well, if you can play it, you can use it. Of course, if you can't play it, you can't use it. So again. Sounds better swung, huh? It's like, it's amazing how such a little thing, it's like, it reminds me of food, like a spice. How something can taste good, but you just add a little oregano or paprika, and it, man, it like, as Lagasse says, bam, right? A little bit of that. So just a little bit of swing makes you go to New Orleans. It's like just that little bit. Okay? All right, now, so let's swing it. Let's slow it down. And here's priority number 1 is to do it with 2 limbs. Now, you can do this with any 2 limbs. Well, first of all, we need the Cinquillo Clave. So that's 1 limb. Let's put it in the right hand. Or you could put it in the left hand. I'm sorry. In whatever limb you want. You could put it in the left foot if you wanted to, or the right foot. I mean, you can see now we're talking about endless, well, not endless, but so many more possibilities if we start talking about putting the melody in the feet. Holy cow. Now you're thinking, dude, what did you smoke this morning? So it's, but think about it. If you could do it and it's slow enough, it could be cool. All right. So we want to not be scared of anything and then pass it off as unimportant. That's dangerous, I think. You know, of course, we do need to make decisions on what we work on, but I just see that all the time. I see too many people give up, you know, because they just go, I don't need this. You know, especially like with rudiments. I don't need those. I'm not going to play them. I don't need to practice that. And I'm like going, I watch them play and I go, you kind of do. You kind of need to practice those. So, anyway, I'm getting ahead of myself. So 2 limbs. If you want to do, we should also try and do this, because on zouk, you know, use hi-hat and snare drum. Put the clave in the left hand. So you could try that if you're at a pad and you don't have a bass drum or hi-hat. You could just use your hands. So put clave in the Tresillo clave in one hand and the Cinquillo clave in the other hand. Just 2 limbs, right? So we could pick any 2 limbs. We could do it with the bass drum. I could do that, right hand, which is what I was doing, all right? Or I could do, without the Tresillo clave, just the hi-hat. You may ask yourself, why do I need to play this with left? Okay, so Dave Burns, love Dave Burns. All right, so you try to get through the whole page with just the right hand and the hi-hat, or the right hand and the right foot, or the right hand and the left hand with the ghost nose, or the right hand and the left hand playing the clave, which is the zouk rhythm, right? Or King Kong rhythm. So you could do any combination of these that you want to do. So if you're on a pad, like Kathy and Steve.
Same as it ever was on the pad.
Same as it ever was. Same as it ever was.
Never was. Same as it.
Exactly. You could do it with just your hands. Of course, you got your feet too. If you have something, it's great. You could tap your foot on the floor. But if, let's see, Steve, you got a bass drum, right? Stan, you got anything? So you could just use your hands for now. You know, and then once you master that, try it with 3 limbs. And then once you master that, try it with 4 limbs. And that might take a year. I don't know. It might take a day. Might somewhere between a day and a year. Might take, just whatever. The point, and the thing is, have fun doing it. Because if you ain't having fun, you ain't doing it right. Right? So let me put on, again, Pocky Way. Oh, look, it's already up. I must not have used my iPad all week. All right, so you can just put on Pocky Way or another. Actually, I'm going to do a recording and put it on the website so you can see it. But in order to put it on YouTube, I can't use Pocky Way because of copyrights. They won't allow me to put it up. So I'm going to just put a second line tune from iReal Pro and play it along to that. It actually would be easier to follow if we're doing a drill because I can make it the same length as the exercise. But I'm going to do that. I might do it today, actually. I got good news. I got a shelving for Christmas. What? My wife bought me a shelving for Christmas. Whose wife's? I mean, isn't that awesome? Y'all thinking, a shelving? What? You got that? What a lame Christmas. It's not a lame Christmas present because this thing's way too small.
Probably a shelving for drums.
It's a shelving for all my electronic gear. If y'all see this is a total mess. I go, look at this. I got stuff piled on top of each other. I don't have enough room. So she bought me a real nice shelving I'm going to put there with the mixer and all my electronics. It's going to be so organized. Actually, I got it built. It's in the living room. She's going to help. But I said, I can't do it now because I got to teach this lesson. And then, because I'm going to take everything out. And you know what? I said, it's going to be scary is what's behind the shelving. I said, just grab the vacuum cleaner because that's going to be nasty. Okay, so anyway, let's do this. Let's try this. I'll put on. Now, also, you can practice. What's smart is to practice the parts that you're not good at. So I guarantee you, most of you are going to do pretty good with line 1, with line 4, and line 7, and maybe even line 8. All of you are going to do pretty good with those lines. Those are the easy ones. That's the easy lines, and probably the ones you kind of want to use if you don't feel comfortable with the others. The reason those are the easy ones, those are the ones where the bass drum lines up with the right hand. All the others you're going to find a little more difficult because it lines up with the left hand. And what's hard to do is to play a ghost note and a loud bass drum at the same time. A ghost note in your left hand, a loud bass drum on the right hand. That's difficult to do. That's why I'm saying accent the left hand on those parts. Okay? Any questions? Any suggestions? We could play Pocky Way. How many lines we got? Eight times and use each line to play.
Clear, are we? Sorry, I lost your audio for a second. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
We're doing the Cinquillo Clave variations page that you emailed out.
Correct.
Okay, and then bass drum's not written in on any of those, so
Nope.
I wasn't here last week. So what are we doing for bass
Bass
drum?
drum's a Tresillo Clave. One.
Tresillo Clave, okay.
And one. And one. And
Okay.
one. The whole time.
Cool.
Tresillo Clave the whole time. That doesn't change. So what doesn't change is the feet. So.
Yeah.
So that's what my feet are doing. You could put the hi-hat on 1 and 3. Isn't it amazing that just sounds completely different? I mean, it's just a different feel. It's cool. Right? That's a really cool sound, but that has a little more swing to it. It's a little more uplifting. You can do everything. So you do any of those foot patterns where you're playing eighth notes with the right foot, left foot, or upbeats or downbeats. I'm going to play upbeats right now because that's more typical New Orleans kind of feel. Slow it down. Hey, 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 Rocky way. Okay, okay. All right. I'm up for suggestions on how we want to go through this. Okay, so just remember, you don't have to do it. I'm going to do all 4 limbs. Okay, but you don't have to do it that way. You can do 2 limbs. You can, or 1. You can just do the rhythm. I mean, actually, if you can't do it with 2 limbs, then you need to be doing just 1, just doing this. And then, okay, so you need to be doing just the rhythm. And then start adding things on. It maybe the next thing, I don't know, it's your prerogative. You could add the Tresillo Clave. I mean, that's the hard part, is just playing this rhythm. And then, you want to try let's do that just as a drill first. Let's do that. Is that cool? All right, so we're going to play the right hand. It's going to play the Cinquillo Clave. And you can play the Tresillo Clave with the bass drum or with your left hand if you don't have a bass drum. In fact, that's what I'm going to do first. Let's do that. I'm going to play all the way through. Let's play each line 4 times. Tell you what, so instead of doing Pocky Way, I set this up. This is Basin Street Blues. Okay, let me see how fast this is. Okay, let's slow that down. Let's see what that sounds like. Okay, that's a good tempo, right? Okay, there's an 8-bar intro, and then we start. And if you know Basin Street Blues, Basin Street is a street where all the black and the white folk meet down New Orleans. Land of dreams. You never know what really means. Basin Street is a street. That tune. Okay, so here we go. Let's do each line 4 times, and we'll go to the next one. I can yell at it. Oh, sorry. Here we go. Here's the intro. If you want to just play. Okay. Here we go. A 1, 2, a 1, 2, ready, and. That's 1. That's 2. Third time. That's a 4th. Here we go. Line 2. And 1, 2, ready, go. go. Ba, 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 ba. Line 4. Easy one. I'll mess it up. Line 5. Line 6. Maybe the easiest one. Oh, back home. Last line. It's only a linear line. Yeah, right? So the ones, which lines did you screw up? Let me guess. 2, 3, 5, and 6. 2, 3, 5, and 6. That's the ones that have the combinations. Those are the hard ones. The last one's easy, right? So, because it's the only linear line that you're not playing any double stops. Okay? All right, let's try it again. Try it with a different limb. So if you did hands, I'm going to go to my bass drum now. So I'm going to use my right hand, melody in the right hand, which is the rhythm on the page. I'm going to go ahead and go to 4 limbs. You can do what you want. I mean, do 2 limbs. Just add the hi-hat or the bass drum, but try it. And then look, as we're playing, if you want to play the same line over and over and over again, you know, I did practice this. I actually practiced for this class. So, Chuck, you got a question? Where's Chuck? I just saw it. Sorry. Man, y'all sometimes I don't see that thing. If I don't see it, just come on and say, yo, John, I got a question.
Yo, John, I got a question.
Perfect.
Yeah, I'm able to do it, but I'm not able to always get the transitions from one line to the next, especially if there's like that double left hand.
Exactly. I got a solution for you. So we're going to make this functional and easier. So instead of trying to make a transition, just put a fill. Just put a fill in, end on the upbeat of 2 of the last measure, and just start the next pattern over. Just start the next pattern on 1. So it actually sounds really cool, and it makes it easier. So yeah, trying to transition to decipher, do I have a double right there or a triple right in some cases, you know, or a double left, or, you know, to figure that out from one to the other, that's the hard part. But if you just start on one, I think that's a lot easier, right? So put a fill in. So let me show you once. Okay, so I just put a little 2-count fill. Boom. 2-count fill on the last bar, and then end on the end of 2, so you can kind of get set and play the next one. And it makes it more functional. It actually sounds better, right? It's really cool. So all right, let's try this. So like I said, you do what you want as far, and then you could also play the melody in the left hand and play the clave in the right. Try that. Again, don't be scared. Don't go, what? You know, if your first knee-jerk reaction is, what? Why would I want to do that? I'm not going to do that. That's too hard. No. In fact, that's more of a reason to do it. Okay? So, let's try it again. I'm going to put the Tresillo clave in the bass drum, Cinquillo clave in the right hand, ghost notes in the left hand, and hi-hat on 2 and 4. You can do some of that. You can change it. You can do whatever you want. But we're going to do it again. Same thing. Each line 4 times. And if you want to do, if you're having troubles, say like with line 3, just play line 3 for the whole tune till you get it. That's smart practice. Don't practice the stuff you already know how to do. Practice the ones that are giving you trouble until it feels good. And do it until it feels good. Don't stop until it feels good. Say, well, shit. You might have to go, you know, we might have to finish this video, go eat lunch, and then come back and do it again. And then go eat dinner and come back and do it again. And then go to work all week and then come back next weekend and do it again. And it still might not feel good. But don't give up. All right, here we go. Do your thing. It's your thing. Do what you want to do now. Isley Brothers. All right, so here's the intro. Yeah, I want to speed it up, but I know you got to work on it slow. It's going to feel better as you speed it up too. But and then maybe because this is kind of a it's Basin Street Blues, you might want to play it on ride cymbal instead of cowbell. Actually, this tune I'd probably, if I did bass, if they pulled up Basin Street Blues, I'd probably put 4 on the floor, just as a swing tune. I wouldn't play that. I don't know, unless they want it. It's a second line style, so then I would. But anyway, know when to do that. If the bass player is going a boom boom a boom a bing a boom 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 boom, don't play the Tresillo Clave. Just because you said, why are you playing that? Because I can. Wrong reason. Okay? So make sure you listen to the bass player. So once again, it may not be apropos for this, but it's the drill, just so you know. Know your place. Any questions? How we doing out there? Kashmir, how you doing in Haiti? How's everything in Haiti? Okay? Just give me a thumbs up, thumbs down. I don't know. Might not. All right. So
everything is good.
Oh, good. That's good to hear. Good. All right.
Yeah. What about you?
Huh? And me? Fantastic. Christmas was great. New Year's Eve, we're gonna stay right here. Listen to the fireworks outside. We might walk downtown, watch the fireworks show, but we ain't going nowhere. So, any questions with this? Can we go a little faster? Okay, so let's put it to Hey Pocky Way. Is that faster? Oh yeah, that's faster. Okay, so that's faster. All right, so what you want to do here, maybe, there's a lot of ways we can do that. This tune, it's all in 16 bars sections, except for the break. There's like 2 extra bars in the break. And then there's like 16 bars, and then there's 2 bars, and then it goes back to the original 16-bar phrasing. So you could do this drill, but just be aware of those 2 bars and then start the next phrase. We can do it just during the break. Let's do this. Let's have a plan. Let's make a plan. How about a plan? Plan's good. All right, so there's the intro, but we're going to start pattern 1 when the vocal comes in, with little bitty boy, with that vocal. When he starts singing that, that's pattern 1, the first line. And we're going to do it 4 times. All right? I forget which pattern. Now, when you get to the drum break, I don't remember which pattern it is. But actually, tell you what, drum break is pattern of choice. Let's do that. Pattern of choice, but on the toms. Put your right hand on the floor tom, left hand on the rack tom, if you're at your set. So, whichever pattern you want to do. Pattern of choice, you choose. Player's choice. You have the drum break, then there's a 2-bar fill or break. It's like a little horn break. And then we start the phrase over again. And it's 16 bars. So, and then we'll go to whatever pattern. I don't know what pattern it is. It's either line 5 or 6. Whatever line that is, I'll call it out. Of course, I won't have my mic on, but we'll do it. We'll go to that one. And then you play that 4 times, and then do each one 4 times. And then I think there's a little more, like about 32 more bars in the tune. Though that's also pattern of choice. You can do whichever one you want. Okay? So 4 times each, starting with the vocal. Drum break, pattern of choice on the toms. And then 2 bars fill. And then we start again I think it's line 5. We're about to find out. Let's find out together. Here we go. So at the beginning, if you want, just play a little second line groove on hand to hand if you want, or a pattern of choice. Got it? Is that vague enough? Here we go. Let's try it. Try to follow me so you'll be able to hear. I'm going to keep the Cinquillo Clave on the right hand, on the cowbell, so you'll be able to hear it. So try to stay with that. Here we go. Let's do that again. I screwed it up. Dang it. I stopped counting. All right. I think I was still supposed to be on line 2. Everybody get that where the vocals come in? You heard where the vocals come in? All right. Let's try that again. It comes in pretty quick. You got to be ready. Here we go. From the beginning.
But it's just so weird, yeah.
All right, I think I screwed up. I think I played line 5 too many times. Y'all going, yep. Yeah, that's what you did. Played too many times. I think I played it 6 times. Cried. All right, we'll get another chance at it. But what's up, Christian? Who you got there? Who's your little friend?
Hey, Doc. This is my niece.
Your niece?
This is
What's her name?
She's a bit of sometimes too.
Ah, okay, cool.
You can say hi.
Hola. she's eating, man.
She's locked in with the
Making me
yogurt.
hungry. I need to eat. I'm gonna eat in a little bit. All right. So, any questions with that? Anybody nail it? Chuck goes, no, negative. So, which ones do you need to work on? Was I right? 2, 3, 5, 7.
It's all the ones that I got to start with the left hand.
Okay, that's 2 and 5. 2 and 5. Yeah, 2 and 5 are the hardest ones, I think.
I think it's great. I love putting the application of the idea that we're working on into an actual arrangement of a song. I think that's like incredible. I think that's amazing.
That's a game changer, isn't it?
It's for sure. Yeah, because having to think of those transitions while you're actually performing is what we do. And so I think that's the practical application of it. I think it's like, I would love to do this every damn week.
Yeah. So that's why I said, y'all might have thought, well, put a fill and then start over. Well, that's kind of like cheating. I said, well, actually, it's what you're going to do in a tune. That's how you're going to treat it. You're not going to just jump from one pattern to the next. That's too academic, But if you do it like this, now you can figure out, and then I think the takeaway from this is use the ones you like. Try to use it, but you can see how if you're playing the zigaboo sticking, which is the 7th line, if you're playing that sticking for the whole groove and you come into a fill, and you want to play a fill, use one of these other rhythms for the fill. So it's related and it's different, but it sounds really cool. But it's really the same rhythm, just it's starting on a different part of the beat. So you can use it like that, like use these as variations for other things, but you don't have to play them on these surfaces. You can change surfaces. So just think of all the possibilities if we change surfaces, switch hands, switch where we play each part. Just think of, man, now it just becomes, holy cow. But yeah, I like doing it to a tune. I would like to do this again myself. I need a redemption because I'm sorry I screwed y'all up with that one. But did y'all understand what I was saying about those 2 bars? That 2 bars, I'll even yell out and tell you where they're at. But then we come back in and you got to count. You got to count, John. I'm not telling y'all. I'm telling you. I got to count. So I got to count. I know we don't like to count, but for this purpose, I need to count. Okay, so, and then we do that 4 times and then 4 times. Each line 4 times. All right? Let's do it again. If you want, do the same thing if you didn't get 100%. And like I said, do 1 limb, 2 limbs, 3 limbs, 4 limbs, whatever you feel you're capable of. Do that, okay? No more questions? That's a great observation, Chuck. And that's actually why I wrote Rudimental Remedies, is so you're playing along the music and you're not, it makes all the difference in the world, It's playing to a click or, something. Yeah, it helps. What's even better, there's another level that's better than this, than playing to recorded music, live musicians. And that is playing with real musicians. playing it with your friends and doing that and putting that together. That's another level that's even more fun. The fun factor is way up there. And what happens if the fun factor goes up, guess what? You're going to want to do it more. And if you do it more, you're going to get better at it. And if you get better at it, you're going to like it more. And if you like it more, you're going to want to do it more. And if you do it more, you get better at it. And if you're better at it, you see what's happening there? All right. Let's try it again. Try it again. You got to leave, Chuck. All right. See ya.
Happy New Year, everyone.
Happy New Year. Happy New Year to you, Chuck.
Next week, John?
Yeah, I'm good next week.
Okay, we'll see you next week. Bye, everybody.
See you next year.
Happy. Wah, wah, wah.
All right. All right, let's try it again. Here we go. Again, starting on the vocals. Here we go. You all ready?
What is
All right, that's getting fun, right? Should be get as you play it more, each time it should get better, and if it gets better, it should be more fun. That's the goal. And if not, you just need to work at it a little more. Maybe if you get frustrated, which is going to happen, if not with this, with something else later down the road. If you get frustrated, stop. Don't be frustrated. Just don't be frustrated. Don't stop. Just stop. Go take a walk. Grab a handful of nuts like I got in the cabinet. Get something to drink. Then come back and break it down. Start simple. Just do one hand, one limb, 2 limbs. Maybe you're trying to do too much, So break it down until it feels good. And then, add a little bit. It's just layers. Think of it like an onion. It's just a bunch of layers. I don't know, that's probably not a good analogy, but you understand? If you get frustrated, and we all do, it's important that you just stop and change what you're doing. It's not that the music's too hard or that you don't understand. It's just you're not approaching it the right way. You just got to take your time and realize and you may not be able to do what someone else does, like you're watching me use all 4 limbs, okay? If you can't do that right now, don't try it. Do 2 limbs. Do 3 limbs, whatever. 1 limb. And if this is too fast, slow it down. I wore my shirt today. Slow it down. Break it down. So you can, and I need to add the word eventually throw it down. Because it's not just like that, right? Cool? Kathy, you got a question?
What?
You have a question?
No, do you ever have problems with your shoulder?
Yep.
Because I have it now, and I don't know, other than ice, I don't know what to do, because I have to keep drumming, so.
Well, it's usually because of the way I sleep. I'm a stomach sleeper. So I'll wake up because I'll sleep like this on my stomach, and I'll wake up sometimes with, oh my gosh. And sometimes it takes a long time to go away, like weeks. So I mean, I don't know, stretch, yoga. I used to do a lot. I don't do as much yoga as I used to, and I used to swear by it until I got lazy, I guess. I don't know. I need to start doing it again because you feel so much better, just once. And I do it once a week, like for 2 hours though, like serious, like stretching, strength training, and it's not easy. It's hard. That's one thing is maybe I'm preaching to y'all about that. When it gets hard, stop. Do something different. Well, yeah. I stopped. I just didn't do it anymore because it's kicking my ass. So
I'm just having to put in so much time getting ready for the concert, and that's probably part of the problem.
Probably, yeah. You're straining yourself. So the other thing is make sure you stay relaxed. I see some of y'all sometimes. You're either hand position. I can see this in your shoulders or in your arms. This right here is a lot of tension. And I had to I played tennis this morning, and I played tennis yesterday too, which is not good for me. It's 2 days in a row. It means a lot of ibuprofen. But today, I actually feel pretty good because all I kept telling myself was relax, relax. Don't think about hitting the ball hard, just smooth and quick. Be quick. Don't hurry, be quick. And just and relax. And it works. I don't feel nearly as sore. So this is the same thing. I just saw Dave Weckl. I just saw a video he did, and he's talking. I don't know, it's a tutorial kind of thing, but he's talking. He goes, drumming is it's a different sport. It's a sport. He goes, you got to train just like any other sport. Drumming is the same thing. They're dealing muscle, and he was like, he was doing my whole analogy of sports speech, like verbatim. I go, well, there you go. Dave Weckl, too, believes the same thing. It's a sport. You got to be careful. You got to treat your muscles. You got to stretch. You know, you got to train just like an athlete does, you know, as far as chops go and coordination. It's the same. I'd say it's even more involved. But yeah, you got to, and you got to stretch, Kathy. You got to stretch. You do stretches like, you know, like I like to grab my arm like this and stretch your neck. So pull your arm.
I do. In my exercise class, 3 times a week, we do it.
Like right now, I can feel that. Oh, my neck and my back, my shoulder.
That does feel good.
Woo! I need to do that more often, especially this side. Oh my gosh.
The other thing with yoga, it's not just the stretching, it's the breathing.
Breathing.
And, you know, taking those deep breaths and the combination of the stretching and the breathing at the same time, that really helps, like with, you know, like if your shoulder's bothering you, like stretch it and take deep breaths at the same time. You know, that's the magic combination.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah, I always thought, you know, growing up, yoga's for women. It's sissy stuff until I did it, and it kicked my ass.
Yeah.
The strength training in yoga is like, you do that, my gosh.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah. Okay. Let's see. Anything else? I mean, we pretty much covered this thing, so I'm getting hungry. Y'all hungry?
Yeah, a good heating pad too, just to piggyback on more of the shoulder
good
stuff.
idea.
Good heating pad. There you go.
And less time on your phone, because like all the same nerves and muscles that eventually get down to your hand, and you know, we kind of hold our phones or our hands holding itself in a position for a long time. You know, or like sometimes I'll hold my phone like this, and I've got to worry about like some tendon overextension because I'll be in bed and I'll just kind of like with my phone. So less time on the phone will hopefully create less buildup in any type of pain.
Thank you.
Happy to help.
Okay.
Yep. I just saw a cool video as a mom and her daughter was on the phone at the table. She went and got some like duct tape and snuck it over her daughter and taped the phone to her face. So she was like, what the? And she's like, oh my God. We just went over this Christmas Day. My grandson, or Jacqueline's grandson, my step grandson was at the table with the phone. I go, no phones at the table. And his mom's looking at me like, are you serious? I'm going, yeah, this is our house. No phones at the table. I can't believe you let your son come to dinner with the phone. Don't do it. No phones at the table. All right, anyway. I'm not saying you can't use your phone at the table. It's not your house. My house. It's not my house. It's your house. All right, so we were going to do some rudiments, but I don't know. Maybe we'll do that next week. We'll get into some rudiments on this.
That's fun with a track.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. Next week.
Let me think of some.
Would that be the rudimental clave?
You know, you could do each one of these patterns. I'm just thinking out loud. And then put the Cinquillo Clave as accents in the pattern. So, but use right, left, right, left, right, left. So the first pattern is right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right. But accent the Cinquillo Clave. The symbols in it. Okay, but the second one, it would have a left accent. All right, and then the third one would be. And what that does is it creates a lot of, different techniques as far as upstrokes and rebound strokes and downstrokes. So you have to decide where to put those. Yeah, John, what's up?
I just posted something in the chat where for my own sanity to try to keep the count right against, 1 Iana, 2 Iana to convert it basically to a stick control kind of exercise. Put the accent, natural accent double when you're coming in. Against the 8, and this really helped me out because it allowed me to visualize how things are moving from exercise to exercise, and it also showed me that the transition into 2, into 5, and into 8 is like a double ghost note, so you're flipping the beat. And so by putting it on this little chart just helped me. I don't know if it'll work for anybody else, but I think that's kind of the road you were going down, and it kind of helped me out to break it down that way. So anyway, just a thing to add.
John, what do you do for a living?
I'm a lawyer and a software engineer.
Software engineer.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm just the way certain people, look at things. So that's really analytical. I mean, super analytical. So that's that software engineer coming out of you.
Well,
But a lot of people this is the way you see it, and there's a lot of ways to learn it. So this is really great. Thank you, John.
The one thing I do try to steer clear of though is there's sort of like as it's, and I kind of got, and again, I got this from your Crazy Army video, this notion of there's as it's written nominally, but as we're playing it and as we're swinging it and things like that. So it's not so rigid. But candidly, what I really see through this, who has a copy of the Dodge drum chart? It's basically, it's the first book out of Stone that he published after his teacher passed away. And there's a lot of similarities to the way this breaks down too, in the way that you just see the time move. And so it was really, and this was the first test of it, John, and I sent this to you via email. And so I was following along with what you were doing, and it really tracks really well. So this is really thanks to that video of yours from 15 years ago, Crazy Army, in terms of breaking it down. And this is how I've done it. And it really, it freaking worked.
I revisited your email just a few days ago, and I was going to write you back, but that's a lot. It's really intriguing.
I could teach a graduate level mathematics class and binary math on stick control alone.
Why?
What's that?
I said I'm a former software engineer too, but I lose focus when you go into all that much detail.
Yeah, what's really interesting, just really quick, it's really something that I sort of stumbled upon, and I found out that George Stone's teacher, Frank Dodge, went to MIT. And he went to MIT between 1896 and 1903. And that was a very magical time because there was a patent clerk in Bern, Switzerland, that was working on a theory of special relativity and on specifically where time and space merge. And that's what we do as drummers. And this was the road to general relativity. And it's what we always say to people, like speed's an illusion in this thing that we do of drumming. And when I started thinking about it and how Frank Dodge organized that original drum chart, and then how George Stone took stick control, I'm like, this is exactly the road they went down. And when we apply it, it's just sort of the way of breaking it down. This is just an approach. It's not the approach, but certainly, again, John, you're responsible for tipping my brain that way. So whether you knew it,
I'm sorry.
Your fault. But anyway, I'll shut up now. So,
dude, that is so interesting. This is what I love about these get-togethers. You get these different opinions, just different thoughts from people, and it's that's what I've learned over the years is it takes. To be a good teacher, you got to understand that there's just many different ways to learn. So, people say, "Oh man, you're such a good teacher." With the program I have at the university, you must be gifted. I go, hell no, I'm not gifted at all. That's over years of. I used to be the worst teacher. I mean, I think back of the way I used to teach and things I said to students, and I'm ashamed of what I did. I was the worst. I came from a drum corps background, very military, a lot of yelling, a lot of intimidation, and just, and it was just stupid. And anyway, what I've learned is, and I remember when I first started teaching and realizing people don't learn like you do. They don't react to the same things I react to. You have to figure out how to get to them, and there's so many different levels of that. So this is just this reminds me of a friend of mine. I gotta think of his last name. He was in the Phantom Regiment with me, and we marched in the snare line together in the Phantom Regiment. And Brad Halls was his name, Brad Halls. Still plays, if you're into DCI stuff, you might know who he is. His son is now a great snare drummer. Anyway, he went to the University of Michigan State, and we were in the snare line together, but he learned completely different. And this is where I really started to notice it. He's kind of like you, he's very analytical. Everything had to be just exactly, I need to know exactly how it goes. What's the interpretation of it? Mathematically, explain this to me. I'm like going, whatever it feels like, do it, what feels good. And so I was the more feely, touchy guy, and he was like the bean counter. And my teacher, Marty Hurley, understood that. Yeah. That's what he didn't treat us the same way. He taught me and Brad in a completely different method of teaching, and I saw it back then. And then that was one thing I observed and later I realized now I have these students, and they're all so different, and they all learn differently. There's a few that learn the way I do, but they're rare. They're actually pretty rare. So to find somebody that is exactly like me, the way I learn. Anyway,
do you play golf?
Thank you. Huh?
Do you play golf?
No, I've never played golf in my life.
Okay, but you'll get this. Everyone will get this analogy. Don't matter how you fly, just matters how you arrive.
Yeah, that's true.
Unless you're in a drum corps competition and you need to be in sync. That's it.
Well, but that's the thing is, my teacher understood we did need to be in sync. We were in the same snare line. So we had to be, but he understood to show it to me, he would show me things one way and he would show Brad another way. He would have to explain it to him differently. Yeah. And I remember thinking, that's stupid. Why would you say it like that? Just play it and then imitate it. Brad couldn't do that. He needed it explained, like detailed. And, but then he would get it and then we were great, but yeah. No, I played tennis. Everybody says you would love golf, and I said, I know I would love golf. That's why I'm not going to play. I hear about how much time and money y'all spend on golf.
It's a time sink.
Yeah. No, I don't need.
Play an executive course, then that doesn't take as long.
There you go.
Yeah, maybe. Actually, my son and I played a 3-par course a couple of times, but here's what the rules were: whoever finishes first wins. So you'd have a wedge, not a wedge. What do you call that? Just a slanted one.
It's a wedge. It's just a wedge, like a sand wedge.
Like a wedge and a putter. You have a wedge and a putter. Yeah. 3-par course. You just gotta wedge it, get it on the green, putt it in.
Yeah.
And so the only rule was you couldn't touch the other person's ball, so no defense. Actually, we've played that too, where you had defense.
You played stymies?
Yeah.
Oh God.
So it's a blast. We're down in Florida on these 3-par courses. So we go like at midnight. Nobody's on the course, and then we just play and we run. Hit the ball, run.
You know they make
falling
balls.
down. And
You know they make balls that glow in the dark. I shouldn't tell you this. Okay.
Well, this was on it was all lit up. It was one of those, right next to it was a go-kart track and all that, beach stuff. Yeah. Anyway. All right. Well, great. Well, thanks for that, John. That's very interesting.
Well.
Yeah. I know a few people in this class will benefit from that. So, yeah.
Well, the first thing I want to know, and really just the opinion about, like, is this correct? Is it a correct? Once I saw that everything was moving in sequence, I just applied the rule. I'm like, is this a correct interpretation? I don't know.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then
the fact that you have your left hand as lowercase, right hand is the only thing is where you have the clave, you could put a capital L,
right,
instead of a lowercase L.
Well, so it's like, so that's what the first line was. I like the clave base was up at the top. It's sort of like, well, if you're going to keep it like on wherever, and then whatever it is you're deciding to move. It's one of these things where those of us that are very analytical, when you start running the math of this, and you let the math lead, and then you say, okay, let me hear how this sounds. It's crazy, because then you really get sucked into it. Instead of waiting for it to sound like, you run the math and you hear it in your head, and then you play it.
No, that's true about anything. And we should all balance the way we learn. And I was just saying that earlier, because if you don't understand something, you can't appreciate it. It's impossible. You can't appreciate anything unless you have an understanding about it. And that's where we can talk about this on all kinds of different political, racial, religion, culinary, music. You could apply it to all of that stuff. And and the thing is, if you don't know, if you're not aware and you haven't analyzed it, the definition of that, the word of that, is a bigot. Because you're uninformed. You're uneducated about that. So I need to do more of the analytical part, because I try to play by ear. But I know people that do, you have to balance it. Because if all you do is this, then it's too academic. Which is crazy. Academic is like a 4-letter word. It means education. But if it's too academic, we all understand it's too square. But
I'll take 20 seconds and tell you how I went down this rabbit hole. I got the book Technique of Percussion, which is a collection of George Stone's articles. He's got a thing he's answering there. The burning question: how far do you space a flam? Gee, I don't know. And it really, back in the day, was this religious debate on, well, what should it be? And he went through this whole narrative thing. And I said, well, this should be able to be broken down into math, where ultimately it's like, is it a 64th note? Ultimately, is it a 128th note? Is it really, really wide open as a 32nd note, but played at a very slow tempo? And when I started going down that road, I'm like, okay, you really have to look at this from both directions, on tempo, on open and closed. And that's when I started realizing this is what he was talking about with stick control and playing within this stuff. And when I started modulating, especially between 4/4 and 6/8, I'm like, holy crap, this is really fun. And I'm just telling you that applying all that and running through this right now is really, this is the application of that, for the good of it or the bad of it or whatever. But that's what sent me down that road. An article he wrote back in like 1937 on how far do you space a grace note in a flam. And that's when he started saying, you could put 2 in there. You could put 3 in there. Heck, you could try to jam 4 in there if you tried, but at some point it won't make sense. And I thought, what a really common sense way of explaining it. That's not analytical. It's just more like how it feels.
Well, that is still an argument today. And the answer to the question is yes.
42.
Which one's correct? Yes.
Did you hear the joke about the drummer who could read?
Oh no.
They hired. Hang on. They hired a drummer for a studio session. They said, "Hey man, can you read?" He said, "Not well enough to hurt my playing."
Yeah, that's like a guitar's joke, but yeah, not well enough to hurt my playing.
Thank you for indulging me on that.
Yeah, of course. You need to. What's that?
I noticed also, I mean, you went into more detail on it, but then if you count from each line, you count 4. It's just the opposite. So like start with line 1 and then count down 1, 2, 3, 4, and it's just the opposite. It's just reverse.
It's a bit shift, Kathy, from this old software engineering days. It's just a shift of the bit, and you just keep shifting it. That's all it is. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. You just the 2 beats shift over each other. But yes, and if you should all check out Bob Becker's book, The Arithmetic of Rudimental Drumming.
Ooh.
Bob Becker. I think that's the title. I have it here. I have a signed copy. It's you would love it, John, because he's super analytical.
That's what I'm afraid of.
And he has these equations for all the different ways to play a flam or a drag. Equations. I'm talking about algebra and
quadratic. See, this is where I don't want to go. Like,
yeah. I looked at it. He actually had me review the book. He goes, John, I want you to review the book. So I opened it. I called him back. I said, Bob, I can't review your book. He goes, well, why not? It's a rudimental drumming book. I said, this is way over my head. You need like a scientist to review this book. It's crazy. I said, it's super interesting, but I don't get it. You know, he's talking about all the possible different ways to play a flam. Right. I said, and he analyzes it with algebra and shit. And I was like, I don't think that's necessary. But anyway,
Doc,
check it out.
Doc,
Okay.
Does he keep the grace note down, Doc? That's the question.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but, you know, you don't always, a rock and roll flam, there really is no grace note. So actually, you say, when you play it like here, brah, that's really not a flam. I call that
a blop.
a blop. A blop. It's like a 64th note, a 32nd note before the downbeat. Brah.
A double slop.
Yeah.
And that level of detail is nice to know, but it's academic. So,
it is.
Cool.
For the person just has to know to reconcile all the numbers and how it all will fill up the tempo. It's like, here it is, one time. The math will work.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, it should just take one time to prove it out. It's like, it really does boil down the math. And
yes, it does.
And then after that, it's like, now you got to make it feel.
And patterns, yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, Rizzo.
Yep, I got one. Santa left me a set.
Oh,
no way.
Rizzo.
Oh, yes,
Are you serious?
Go back to those. Those are beautiful.
That's so cool, Rizzo.
Are they double seconds or double tenors?
They're double seconds with a low E up to an A.
With a low E.
Yeah,
so sharp.
It's a used set made by Gil, but they're nice.
Gil Pan Shop?
Yeah, they're good.
Yeah, he makes good pans.
Yeah, I just got to get someone to look them over. There's a couple of things I don't like about it. There's little inconsistencies with the town.
Well, you can get them tuned. Yeah. Look up, I think in Pennsylvania is Ryan Roberts or Panyard. What's it? Shelley Irving at Panyard, or Ryan Roberts. I can send you their numbers.
Where in
you
PA?
could actually drive there and get them to tune your pans.
Where would that in Pennsylvania be? Philly
North,
or Pittsburgh? Oh,
Pittsburgh.
Oh, Pittsburgh. Okay.
Yeah. Out east, right?
That's west.
West.
That's east.
Where I am is east. Philly.
Oh, what's Philadelphia?
East.
East. I'm not sure where they live.
I mean, besides being the defending Super Bowl champions, we're on the East Coast.
John, what part of Philly are you in?
I'm in Chester County. I'm in Paoli.
Okay, because my family lived off of Roosevelt Boulevard.
Oh, I'm going to stop.
Yeah, northeast. Sure.
Yeah,
absolutely.